Sorry for the delay, you guys. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here. So I'm using something different this time. And yeah, it's been one of those type of days. So I'll give about 5 minutes for everybody to get in here. Give a few minutes for everybody to get in here. But if you want to go ahead and start reading some of this and screenshotting, I just want to make sure that I'm in good focus. You can go ahead and drop your name in the chat if you want to, or your moon sign. Can y'all see this all right, or does it have a glare? I feel like it has a glare. I think it's a little bit better. Get some natural sunlight. I think that made it a little bit better. Yeah. Hey, honey. Okay, why is it doing that? Hey, you guys, welcome on in. Welcome on in. If you can, go ahead and screenshot this if you want to, if you don't already know this information. We're just gonna break it down a little bit more. This video is going to be pre-recorded and kept on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, paid member, you'll have access to this video continuously. Does first before I get started, does everybody know their moon signs? Everybody know their moon signs? Does everybody know their moon sign? If you don't know your moon sign, it's all right. Before we get started, I can go ahead and help you because I am going to talk about the moon signs and how each moon sign can tap into their emotional frequency so they can get into their currency. Most of the time, we don't realize that our emotions are our currency because your emotions are what keep you from either getting something, thinking that you can and can't have anything, or even wanting it to begin with, right? How you feel about a lot of things is make your decisions up for the day. Those are one of the reasons why we should follow the moon, which we're about to go into. Okay. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to my. If you're in the chat and you're typing, I will go in and see it. I'm just going to be flipping back and forth between my notes and talking to y'all and doing this. And I'm going to be writing on the board. I want to know, can you guys see this okay? Is it too far away? Is it not clear enough for you guys? Let me know and I'll try to, make it and adjust it and make it better. I got too many devices. Okay. I gotta get behind this because this. Okay, let me get back with y'all so I can see the comment section. So the moon is in Leo today. So the emotional vibration of today will be built on creativity. How you feeling will be more bold, more prideful. You're gonna have to have confidence if you want to go get some money today. Money will be attracted to confidence, okay? Not just any type of thing, any type of confidence, but confidence and reassurance of the self and the identity. Okay. So first things first, why follow the moon to begin with? Let me get my marker so I can be able to talk to y'all. Why even follow the moon to begin with, baby? Okay. Everybody see this okay? Can everybody see this okay? Can everybody see this okay? Everybody see it okay? Why follow the moon to begin with? Following the moon to begin with, you following the trends, patterns, and cycles. When it comes to making money, even when it comes to like if you are, this would be especially good if you're like a promoter or if you are in merchandising or selling or anything of that nature. You need to learn how to follow trends and cycles. That's what people do on social media, right? They follow trends and they follow cycles. Following the moon and the daily patterns can help you follow the trends, learn your patterns, learn what cycles you're on. That way you can get into the emotional frequency of the money you make. Next is you make better decisions. People don't realize that we are ruled majority by our emotions and how we feel. So when it comes to making money, how your decisions rule a lot of the things. So the money that you make comes out of decisions that you make. So let's just say, for instance, today, the moon is in Leo. So people will make decisions that are more childish or more, I want to say, not too well thought out, right? They're premature because Leo rules children, and children do things that could not make sense sometimes, or they could make sense to them, but it's not well thought out. So the decisions that you make may not be well thought out today. So those things are ruled by the emotions. Now, if you have something like a another fire sign like Sagittarius or Aries, then that energy will really influence you, right? Because you already move quick. Fire is just very engulfing. So the emotions will take on quick. So if you're not paying attention to it, you can get caught up in the emotions and just go off on a tangent with doing things that you want to do and not things that need to be done. Which is why Leo and Capricorn are at odds with each other. They make it in conjunction because Capricorn do what needs to be done and Leo just does what it wants to do. So, and then the last thing is know what area of life will gain attention. If you know which area of life will gain attention for you, you can know how and where money can come in from. Most of the time, I always notice with people, eighth house, second house lit up with the moon, especially because other transits you can't really have help, but the moon you can. So if you have certain house placements lit up, that way you'll know when the moon comes in and where you can get money in, where your money cycles are. And there are other houses too, but the second house and the eighth house is just the main one people love so much. Let's go over a little general moon knowledge that you need to know that can help make it easier for you to understand how the moon moves and why it's important to follow it and how you can get to your wealth because everything adds up. In order to understand the ending part, you got to understand the beginning part or just the basics of it. So, just some basic moon knowledge. Like every other planet in the solar system, every planet has a certain time frame which it stays into a zodiac sign. So the sun stays into a sign 30 days, 28 to 30 days. Mercury stays in a sign, 2.5 to 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks sometimes. So the moon only stays in the sign for 2.5 days. So that means that the effects of the moon change on a 2.5 day basis, which means that it affects you more frequently. You have the opportunity to use the moon on a frequent basis to gain opportunities that are short term opportunities or opportunities that may come on the fly versus these opportunities that you may have to wait longer for. These are the people who want to actually get to things more strategically, more fastly, in a more rhythmic flow, because these things are going to happen regardless. The emotions are going to come, they're going to transfer through your houses, they're going to make certain aspects to you. But if you know how these aspects are going to affect you, you can properly prepare for them, making you make better decisions, which affect your money. The moon rules the public. In general astrology and mundane astrology, the moon rules the public. And I'm going to tell you why. Because 95% of your day is ruled by the moon. So if 95% of your day is ruled by the moon, that means the public is ruled by the moon. Because if you're all ruled by your emotions and how you feel, and you're going based off of how you feel, that moon is going to be running your day. So it runs the public and how the public feels. If how we feel is 95% of our day, then the public is going to be feeling the energy of the moon majority of the day. That means that you have the opportunity to understand what the public wants. This may not be for everybody, but this is for the people who understand how to properly maybe sell stuff or how to properly get people to be interested in certain things. Or if you have something that you're interested in, right? Let's just say, for instance, you have a cleaning business and you want people to be interested in your cleaning business. You want people to pay attention, right? Pay attention. The moon is in Leo today, so people want attention. They want you to pay attention. So if you get the moon over here in a certain day, you can get the people to pay attention to what it is that you already offer. The moon is already going to bring that energy. So once the moon brings that energy, you can get them to pay attention easily to that thing that you have to. Next is feelings, home, family, property, unconscious habits, and your reactions to things. We cannot help the situations that come to us, but we can help how we react to them. Your reaction is everything. If you don't learn how to react properly or know what the people want to be reacted to, right? So today, again, the moon is in Leo. So I write this out. Today, the moon is in Leo. Leo wants the reaction. Can everybody see it okay? To be confident. They want you to feel like you know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. Confidence is a big thing with the moon and Leo. If you do not feel confident in bringing yourself out there, if you don't feel confident in putting yourself out there, people are going to see it and then they're going to, we don't want this. If it's not flashy, people want flashy. Leo rules the sun. The sun likes things that stick out. They're bright. They're just flamboyant. The sun loves to have fun. Leo loves fun. So if you are having fun, the people will be attracted to you. Leo loves competition. Create competition, you got attention. And y'all see that? Okay, let me see the other one because I'm not looking at the comments. So if anybody is writing in there, I cannot see. Okay. I don't think nobody wrote in there yet. So I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer so that y'all can see what it is that I'm writing. So yeah, competition. Also kids or childlike energy. If you have a playfulness, if you learn how to play, you can tap into the Leo energy. Very simple. This is how people want to, what people want. This is how the people are going to react. So if you can react to things with confidence, flashiness, fun, competition, childlike energy, playful energy, flamboyant, you can tap into the vibrational frequency, right? That's that's about how you learn to tap into the energy of the day. So that's just about Leo. You got 12 signs and they all make certain aspects to certain things. Just like yesterday, Leo also rules performing. So if you want to get up there and do a 1-2 step, and you want to be a performer and be a little dramatic because Leo is very dramatic. Guess what? You're gonna get the people's attention. It's all about the dramatics. All about the dramatics. That's what Leo is. So that's that. So next thing we're gonna talk about, because we done got through all of this. Hey everybody, if you're coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for coming in today. So let's talk about your moon sign. Because we always talk about the general moon sign. I don't want to overcomplicate it because it's not complicated. Learn how you feel, learn what's going on in the day, learn how to make your decisions better based off the feelings of what's going on today. This is even how you can tell how other people are going to be feeling, right? You can kind of tell what the energy is generally going to be with knowing what the moon sign is going to be for the day. Keeps you in tune, keeps you on track, and then knows how it's going to affect you. So let's talk about your individual moon sign. So, does anybody know their moon sign? You don't gotta put it in the chat if you don't want to, because everybody be acting shy. Ain't no need to be acting shy today, because being shy today ain't gonna get you no help. Most of the time when the moon is in Leo, if you're supposed to be bold, you're supposed to put yourself out there. That's how you're gonna get what you're gonna get from the day. You gotta put yourself out there. Boldness comes from Leo. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the element do they sign. So the first one I'm gonna talk about, since we already done talked about it today, is them fire signs. Fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. We're gonna talk about their reaction to things, what their unconscious pattern is, and how they can be able to tap into the emotional wealth of their own wealth. Because every moon sign has its own way of tapping into its wealth, right? Its emotional side. And they have a good side and a bad side, especially depending on your chart and how what placements or what aspects or connections you have to other planet, whether they're good connections, difficult connections, whatever the case may be. That's your challenge to money. The aspects and the negative connections you have to other aspects are as high as your money affected. So let's look at fire signs first. Fire moons. So what's their reaction? Fast is always, passionate, rash, not well thought through. Okay, not well thought through. I should put over here Leo. Aries. That most fire signs need purpose. If you're a fire moon, you need purpose in order for you to feel the emotions. Okay. What are your patterns? Your patterns of continuous cycles of making emotional decisions too quick. And this also counts if you have your moon in fire houses, which are the first, fifth, and ninth. Making decisions too quick. If you make decisions too quick based off your emotions, so if you get your passion stirred up, your pride stirred up, your emotions stirred up, your beliefs, somebody test your authority, somebody want to kind of control you, and those all come in with the fire sign air. You make emotional decisions too quick. So let's just say, for instance, Aries. Perfect example. Aries moon love to fight, and Cardi B is an Aries moon. She make a lot of decisions quick emotionally based off her Aries moon placement. Those decisions cost her money, right? Because let's just look at her previous court case. Now, she did not have to pay this lady. However, she did have to pay her lawyers. All the decisions that you make cost you money or they can make you money, right? You could do a lot of things that could, she could have helped that lady or did something different and could have made her money. She could have sued that lady, just like what she did with Tasha K. She sued her and she got her money. So all the decisions that you make, because what if she would have, instead of suing Tasha K, she would have had one and tried to fight Tasha K. And she would never been able to get her money like she got it from her when she went and took it to court. So that just shows you, like, the decisions that you make can make a difference, because on the other end of it, Aries is a leader and Aries is a hothead. Leaders make balanced decisions, right? Because they got to make decisions that are good for the whole, because they know they're not just leading themselves, they're leading everybody. So most of the time, people have to show people how you're going to treat them. They're going to show everybody else how you're going to treat them by how you treat other people. So that's a good example of the making the quick decisions from the fire signs and how they affect your money, and also how they can help bring you money. Learning how to slow the F down brings in money to fire sign moons. Slow down, make better decisions, look at what's going on, and look at the other side of the coin. Because Cardi B used her Libra influence when she decided to sue Tasha K instead of going and trying to fight her or trying to spread stuff about her too. So she chose the Libra effect, but that's why I mean you have to use the opposite sign, which is well balanced out. Whatever the opposite of your moon is, you have to do that thing. Just like it's case for Leo, opposite of Leo is Aquarius. So instead of Leo being prideful, flashy, instead of doing that, be Aquarius and be unique, be eccentric, be out of the box, do something different. Because Leo can also stick with the status quo. It just likes to fit in with the flashy crew, and that's what everybody else is doing. So going the opposite way can help those signs be able to tap into their money flow. Okay, so we're gonna do the earth signs. Get my green marker out for some the earth signs, earth moons, except for Capricorn and even Virgo sometimes, but earth moons have a better chance of being able to create money in earth houses, because that's where their emotions are naturally drawn to. Earth homes. We got Capricorn, Taurus. And then we got Virgo. Then you got your second house, and your sixth house, and then your 10th house. So if you got any plan, if you got your moon sign in the second, sixth, or 10th house, this also counts for you. First thing first, how you react to things. If you have a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus moon, you can react to things very slowly, methodically, feeling it. Slow, patient, analyze your emotions. Make sure I ain't miss nothing out there. These and be more impractical, stable reaction. People kind of can predictable, can predict how you're gonna react. They already know how you're gonna react, baby. Sometimes if you are one of these signs, your unconscious pattern, an unconscious pattern is suppressing emotions. A lot of earth signs, because it's so stable, so methodical, so predictable, it does not know how to range its emotions out. So the things that it does feel and it does not understand how to feel, which is why I was trying to analyze things, it suppresses, which is not a good thing for your emotions, because if you do not express things, if you do not express feelings, you will always get the same amount of money, right? If you cannot express range in your emotions, you're not going to be able to express range in your money. That's just how it goes. The more intense the emotions are, the bigger the money is, which is why Scorpio, who is the opposite of Taurus, it rules intensity, but also big lump sums of money because of how intense the emotions can be. Um, Suppress emotions to stay functional. Mm, functional. Earth signs don't understand. Functional just means that nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And it's okay to feel things that don't feel perfect. If you can feel things that don't feel perfect, money is okay to come in, because how people get money all the time ain't perfect. How money comes in is not perfect. How you plan for money is not perfect. Your status is not perfect. How you represent yourself through your money is not perfect. How you earn the money is not perfect. Those are all your fixed energies. You have to understand that for your unconscious pattern of feeling like you have to be enough or you have to work extra hard just to get these things. But those are all feelings, because you're suppressing all the real emotions that you should be feeling and bringing up to the front so your money can be able to come on a consistent basis. Consistency is an earth signs game, but emotions, when it comes to consistent emotions, is not all the best. Even though Taurus is exalted in the moon, it just means that your emotions don't know how to they don't know how to move around. So those are your earth signs. I know that if y'all have any earth signs, I know that you may feel like, dang, like, when you feel a certain way, you stuck that way. Like it's hard for you to change how you feel. That's one of the downsides of being earth moons, or having your sun, your moon in the earth house. Because once you feel that way, and it's hard for you to be able to move the energy around unless you get yourself fixated on some or a new emotion or something else to feel. Which is what's a good thing why the moon changes signs every 2 days, right? So next we're gonna do my lovely, lovely water moons. So if you have a moon in a water sign, the moon is naturally ruled by Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Or you have your moon in the fourth house, the eighth house, or the 12th house. For you, your moon sign, natural reaction is to things is to feel, which is a great thing. You process everything in so deeply and intuitively. Absorb, feel, you may cry. Your reactions to things may be to cry. Um, to maybe I don't want to say go ghost, but you go into your shell, you hibernate, basically. Go into isolation. Because all water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, have within them this thing of hidden, being hidden, going hidden. So your reactions to things is to hide. You don't want to be seen when you start to feel a certain way. You want to hide, just like them goddamn earth signs. Earth and water are always opposite of each other. And just like the same way earth can repress its emotions, water can also repress its emotions where it can hide when it starts to feel stuff because it's overly sensitive, where it can overly feel things. And it can also cause water not to be able to function as well due to the hypersensitivity of emotions. One cannot function because they don't have no emotions or it cannot express the range of emotions. And these people unconscious habit or conscious pattern, I should say. It's taking shit too personal. I say this to a Cancer moon all the damn time. Taking things too personal because they feel so deeply. They just feel everything. But they think it's all about them, but it's really not. And then these emotional loops, like I was saying before, feeling the same emotions over and over and over again, or living in the past, living in past emotions, past poverty feelings, past suffering feelings, feelings of lack, of not having those things. If you have a water moon, you have to be very, very careful about attaching yourself to the feelings of what you had in the past or what you had before or what you had in the darkness or just being comfortable in the darkness of your um emotional like downfalls or even if you had the most of the most like I always remember, oh, I remember when I had this and it was just that. I remember when I had that car, when I had this job, and when I had this amount of money, or when this was coming in like this. Like living in the past, like learning how to move on from stuff, not holding on to the past. You gotta hold and go towards the future. That's one of the biggest hurdles with money that those water signs come through emotionally with your moon sign. If you learn how to emotionally not live in the past or not let your nervous system freak you out from past poverty and lack, you'll do a lot better when it comes to learning how to bring in new emotional feelings of new money, new abundance, new wealth, not learning how to always attach yourself to the feeling of poverty, of lack, of scarcity, and things of that nature. And that's a big thing. That's why water energy has the biggest opportunity to tap in out of any of the other signs, is because it already has the energy naturally in them. But it also could be the most detrimental if it does not know how to operate those energies that are naturally within them, because they can overconsume them and they cannot know how to differentiate or separate them. Okay. And then we got our last one, which is our lovely air signs. And I'm just going to use the same marker. People with air moans or in air houses. This is your Aquarius people, Libra, and then Gemini. Or third, seventh, and then 11th house. Moon in one of these signs or one of those houses, the houses definitely affect you. So I can already tell you right off the rip, reactions for air moons. The reaction is talking too damn much. Air moons have anxiety because they always try to use their thoughts to process their emotions. And we all know our thoughts can take us, get anxious, over explain. They may talk a lot. They may rebel. They may people please. May overthink, overplan. Those are some of the things that the air signs can how they can react to people, places, and things, and even their money. Doing some of these things can, in a way, help if you're doing them during these air moons. But if you naturally have these in you and you're consistently doing this, you're out of whack, completely out of whack. These are some of the unconscious patterns that air signs have. They need to avoid so that way they can be able to bring money in or be able to understand their emotions better so that they can blend in better with the other moon sign, with the other general moon signs to bring in money. Most people do have their emotions intact, but they don't know how to blend them well with other emotions. That's also the second half of this. Learning your own emotions and how to deal with them is one battle. Learning how to deal with them intertwined with other people's emotions is another battle. One of the things is if you are overly detached, that's Aquarius energy all the way around, or avoiding vulnerability. I should get my heel right there. Ability. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra is overly attached. Can't do shit by yourself. Ain't got your own thoughts. Ain't got your own personality. Gemini too. Gemini got imposter syndrome, copycat syndrome. These people can't either. They got problems with attachment. Definitely, all of them have problems avoiding being vulnerable, right? Because air can be superficial. Point blank, period. Air signs can be superficial as hell. And if you are an air moon sign, your emotions can be very superficial, meaning that you don't have enough depth to them. They're just, you know, touch and base, touch and go. Aquarius and Libra to me have a little bit better advantage because Aquarius rules society and people at large, so it likes to get involved with people and it fights for a cause. And Libra, on the other hand, likes to be in relationships with people. I always wonder why Libra, who's most partnership and marriage and relationship is an air sign and not a water sign. That's because relations are more mental than they are physical or emotionally felt, I should say at first. But the mental is really where you build up that connection to somebody else because in hermetic laws, the mind is the all. So in the mind is where we build relationships with people and the emotions is where we feel those emotions, those bonds start to connect with people. They start to grow. So yeah, I am going to be creating on my Patreon a PDF for these signs, emotionally going into depth about each particular rising sign slash sun sign, talking about how they can follow the moon to gain wealth in their birth chart, um, because you have your own rhythm and your own flow. And what you do to gain wealth doing these particular moon signs can always help you. So I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Thank you for sticking with me through this whole new live streaming thing. I appreciate y'all. I shall see y'all later. And make sure y'all comment below. I can take a few questions. I do have some time to take a question if anybody has put anything in the chat. I know I've just been running my mouth and I ain't looking in the chat. Not one time. So let me see what y'all got going. Okay, bet. Just see y'all later.